Good morning, future and fellow weirdos of the flock. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Stop in the kitchen and grab you some keep other people alive juice. There is protein. I'm scared to use it. And my blender's not clean. I forgot to throw it in the dishwasher last night when I took the kids home. And let me tell you about that. Listen, we took the freaks home, right? Because they got to go home. And last night when we came in, my blue mountain cat with no tail somehow skirted out the door. She didn't come back till like 2 in the morning. And she laid out there, and the baby cat, scratching at the window and meowing. Dustin was like, "Get the fuck off the window." But she would keep going back to the window. So then Dustin looked out there and he was like, "That looks like Blue." And lo and behold, it's Blue with her bitch ass outside. She spent the night outside. And it was like, this little motherfucker. And nobody even noticed. That's the sad part. Is she's always up people's ass. And then people are, I didn't even notice. Because, well, I don't remember why I didn't notice. But I didn't notice. And Dawson didn't notice until the baby cat. She's like, "Hey." And Dawson's like, "Shut up." And she's like, "No, look." It's kind of what happened. But we are kind of lucky no one took her. She is blue and has no tail. Not that it was chopped off or anything. She was born without a tail. Her race of cats are born without tails. From the Isle of Man. They're like little tiny cats. Well, they're not big, giant cats. They're like little domesticated cats in the mountains with no tail. Or so I'm told, of course. I've never been out of America. I've never been able to leave America. But somehow I got a cat from the Isle of Man for free. Don't exactly remember how that happened, but that did happen. And I'm so glad no one took her. But this little bitch ass cat spent the night outside. Fuck this guy. Man, she is terrible. So, welcome to my party pen. Never know what the fuck I'm gonna say. Anyway, we left off, and God was like, "Build me an altar out of fucked up stones. And make sure there's a wheelchair ramp." Because I think at this time, they didn't have those long t shirt dresses. I think they were still like kind of knee high t shirt dresses. So I can imagine like dicks falling all over the place when they try to walk up the steps. So I can see, I can see why God was like, "Don't build me no steps. I don't want to see the tip of your dick." So wheelchair ramps only. So I am Nikki K the Great. I will be reading you these stories out of the Bible in the most inappropriate and outlandish way. That's what somebody told me this was. This is so outlandish. It's like, I know. Isn't it great? Listen, I don't give a shit. I want to tell you the story. I want to tell you what happened because I want to know what happened. So, well, I kind of know what happened because I read this last year, I guess. And so I kind of know what happened. But I want you to know what happened. So, we're about to we're about to find out what happened. And like there's going to be some schematics in here, like coming up quickly. Schematics. That's like the height of the tent, the length of the tent, what's on the inside or the outside. Like measurements for fucking everything. And I made the mistake of skipping it last time, and then things didn't make sense a couple times. Because I didn't read the fucking schematics or the rules. So, I apologize now. It's going to be boring for a second. So, pack a bowl, roll a cigarette, make a cigarette, grab a cigarette. I have what you need to make a cigarette. I have rolling papers if you just want to roll a cigarette. And I have, listen, I bought the cheap cigarettes. I don't even know where I put them. Oh, I am an asshole. Anyway, I bought the cheap, oh, here they are. I bought the cheap cigarettes. So if you don't want to roll a cigarette, don't know how to roll a cigarette, don't know how to roll a cigarette by hand, uh, I did buy. Listen, listen. All the prices of the cigarettes went up a lot. Uh, but the corner store still has some cigarettes under $5. And $5 is all I had on my bank card because my rent, you know. So all I had was $5. So I bought these cigarettes. So if you can't roll a cigarette, if you can't make a cigarette, I have I have cheap cigarettes. And they're non-menthol because listen, when I went to Colorado, I snuck off to Colorado after I got off out of prison. So I went to Colorado. I have not been able to smoke a menthol cigarette since Colorado. It is the craziest fucking thing. I will cough up everybody's lung if I try to smoke a menthol cigarette. And menthol cigarettes was what I smoked, right? Newport 100s in a box. Not anymore. Not anymore. Colorado was, I don't know. I don't want to say Colorado was terrible because it wasn't. But it was terrible for my lungs trying to smoke a menthol cigarette. Ugh. So we don't have menthol cigarettes. So I hope you brought your own. Or you can deal with non menthol. So now that that's over, 9 minutes of whatever the fuck. But I wanted to tell you, I don't have nobody else to tell. My fucking cat. Thank God she's fixed. But this asshole ass cat want to sneak out overnight. Isn't that like a teenager sneaks out at nighttime and stays gone all night? Listen, it was this cat. Anyway, anyway, we're about to go to chapter 21. So, go pee real quick because we are about to go. Oh my God. Wait, did you take your medicine? Did I take my medicine? I don't think anybody took their medicine. All right, take your medicine and go pee. All right, you ready? Let's go. Okay. Now these are the judgments which you shall set before them. If you buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the seventh he will go out from you for nothing. So 7 years you got to let him go. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife will go with him. If his master has given him a wife, and she has bore him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go by himself. So this is the tricky way that they keep slaves. Look, look, look. Do you think this was a God rule? Okay, we'll let one slave go, but we're keeping his family. So then he has to stay because his family. You think God made that rule? And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go free. Here we go. I want to stay with my wife and kids. So they take him to the judge, and he shall bring him to the door or the doorpost, and his servant shall bore his car. No, he will bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. Look, do you think God made that rule? That is so. Why would God care? Okay, God might care. God might care. But that is a really Jewy rule, though. Listen, we're going to keep your wife and your kids, but you can go, right? You can go. But if you don't want to go, then you're my slave forever. So, which one? Do you really think that's a God rule? Okay. And if a man sells his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she pleases her master, who betrothed her to himself, then he will let he then he shall let her be redeemed. To sell her to a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing he has dealt deceitfully with her. I'm not exactly sure what this means. If a man sells his daughter to be a maidservant. So if a man sells his daughter into sex slavery, she shall not go out as the men servants do. But if she pleases her master, who has betrothed her to himself, then he will let her be redeemed. Something about a sheep and an ox. Do you remember that? Let her be redeemed. To sell her into a strange land, he will have no power. So if he buys her and then sells her again, he can't say what happens to her. This. Do you think this is a God rule? It seems like one Jew may have bought a girl Jew and then sold the girl Jew to an Egyptian. And then the father's like, this my daughter. And dude's like, it's in the rules. You have no power. And then, like, the Egyptian beats her up, and the one Jew that bought her is like, don't do that. And then the Egyptian's like, you made the rule. Oh, why? This See, this is what I'm saying. A lot of this doesn't seem like a God rule. Because you can just see the word magic in it. It's Jewy lawyer talk. Okay. And if he betrothed her to his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. All right, so no more treating her bad because she's your son's wife. If he takes another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he. So listen, if you decide to get another wife, you can't take nothing away from her, right? She is also your wife. She was your first wife, and you bought her. So you better treat her good. Okay. And if he does not do, and if he does not do these three unto her, then she shall go free without money. Okay. So if he marries another wife and then's like, I don't want you no more. And she's like, well, deuces, bitch. And he that smiteth a man so that he dies, he will be surely put to death. And if a man lies in wait, but God delivers him to his hand, then I will point thee a place where I will appoint a place to flee. Okay, so if a man doesn't lie in wait, but he ends up being there and gets killed, the guy that kills him will give him a place to flee. See, this is a Democrat thing. They're like, oh, you killed somebody? Okay, just go here. It's a sanctuary city. Jewy lawyer shit, dude. This is not a God rule. But if the ox, hold on. Okay. But if a man comes presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, you will not take him from, hold on, you shall take him from my altar and kill him. But if a man presumptuously, but if a man comes presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, you take him from the altar that he may die. So if a redneck comes on his redneck neighbor at the trailer park, like, you fucked my wife, and the neighbor's like, I don't like your wife, she looks like a man, And then the other dude's like, "You fucked my wife," and then kills him. Dude can't go to church because everybody else is in a killer. Hold on one second. I gotta blow my nose. Okay, sorry about that. But I think that's what the presumptuously upon his neighbor means. Because he's like presuming. I don't know. What does presuming mean? I don't fucking know. Why don't we look? Look. I don't know. Hold on. Where's the little. Oh, there is no little thing. Okay. There's a little thing. We'll look at it. Okay. Well, I don't know if we can look at it. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to tell you what it says. I'll tell you fully. I won't even, uh, I don't know what the fuck that word is. Presum, presump, presump to us, Lee. Presumably, no, presumptuously, a person or their behavior failing to observe the limits of what is permitted or appropriate. I hope I won't be considered presumptuous if I offer some advice. So, what is that? What does that mean? Of a person or their behavior failing to observe the limits of what is permitted or appropriate. Is that what that means? Like the trailer park dudes? You fucked my wife. No, I didn't. I've seen that happen. Okay. Take him from my altar that he may die. And he that smites his father or mother shall be surely put to death. Okay. And he that steals a man and sells him, for if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Okay. So if you steal a slave to sell him, or before you get to sell him, people are like, that's my slave, I branded him, then the dude's going to be put to death, right? And he that curses his father or mother shall surely be put to death. So this must have been written by somebody whose teenager was like, fuck you, this is terrible. Walk through the woods. Okay. And if men strive together, and one smites another with a stone or his fist, and he doesn't die, but lives, if he rises again and walks abroad, no. And okay, if he rise again and walk abroad upon his staff, then he that smote him be quit, only he shall pay for the loss of his time, and shall cause him to be thoroughly healed. Yeah, so pay for the medical. Pay for the I what is it? Intentional infliction of emotional distress. IED, bitch, and pay my medical bills. Fuck you. Okay. Uh, and if a man smites his servant or his maid with a rod, and he dies under his hand, he shall surely punish. He shall surely be punished. Listen, in the South, they were extremely Bible people. Like, extremely Bible people. They read their fucking Bibles every day. And they read these rules, like, every day. They did not treat their slaves bad. Because that's why people call it the Bible thumping South. They didn't treat these fucking people bad. There ain't no way. Those people are extremely biblical. So it's most of the black people that did the hoodoo and voodoo in their slave quarters. But the slave master did not treat these people bad. There ain't no fucking way. I'm sure some of them did. I'm sure. Just like there are some of them that do it now. But I don't believe in the people in the South. Not all of them treated slaves bad because the Bible has specific rules on that shit. And those people were extremely Bible-y. A Nikki opinion, fuck you if you come after me because I'm probably right. That's the only reason you would be offended, is because I'm probably right about that. These people were paid for, and ain't nobody gonna waste their fucking money. Nobody. Nobody is gonna waste their money because these slaves cost a lot of money to the black people that sold them. So I I don't believe they were treated bad at all. Some of them probably were. Some of them probably were. But I don't believe it. I don't believe that all of them were treated bad. Okay. So if you kill your servant and he dies, you shall surely be punished. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money. Okay. I feel like this was thrown in there also. Like, this was just thrown in there because notwithstanding is not a God word. Notwithstanding is not a God word. I don't believe this is a God rule. Okay. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall surely be punished according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. See, there you go. Taking care of a woman's, what is it called? A woman's honor. It's like, yes, your husband. Is your brother also like street justice? And if any mischief follow, then you shall give life for life. So if you kill your wife, not only if you kill your wife, but you do mischief, you're going to die. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. So if you hurt the woman, you're giving something up. Burning for burnings, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. Yes, yes. Yes, so no matter what way you hurt this woman, it's coming back on you. And if a man smite the eye of his servant, or the eye of his maid, that it perish, you shall let him go free for his eye's sake. So no matter what you do, you're setting this guy free. If an ox gores a man or woman that he die, then the ox shall surely be stoned, and his flesh not be eaten, for the owner of the ox shall be quit. So if your ox kills somebody, then you're not a farmer no more. But if the ox were not to push with his horn, and time pass, and it has been testified to his owner, and he has not kept him in, but that he but if the ox don't, okay, hold on, listen. But if the ox were wont to push with his horn, and time pass, and it has been testified to his owner, and he did not keep him in, but he killed a man or woman, the ox and the owner will be put to death. If there be laid on him a sum of money, he shall give for the ransom of his life, whatsoever is laid upon him. That's not a God rule. Listen, and they're still doing that right now. They don't want to put people to death, right? Because it's so inhuman, right? So we're going to give him like a $75,000 restitution, and he's got to pay that before we even think of the death penalty. So just keep him in jail. That's not a God rule. That's a Democrat rule. That's a Jew rule. Okay. Whether he has ignored a son or has ignored. Oh, so if your ox kills one of your kids, then you gotta die by the ox. It's rodeo time, motherfucker. If the ox pushes a maid or man servant, he shall give unto their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. See, look, if the ox fucks with you, you give your master money. That's stupid. Look, why is that a God rule? That's not a God rule. God is not going to make the servant pay. Never. Never in his life, all throughout this. He's never made a servant pay. This is not a God rule. And if a man shall open a pit, or if a man digs a pit and doesn't cover it, an ox or an ass fall therein, the owner of the pit shall make it good and give money unto the owner, and the dead beast is his. And if one man's ox hurts another, that he dies, they shall sell the live ox and divide the money of it, and the dead ox they also shall divide. Also, not a God rule. Listen. Because he just said in the other one, don't eat the dead ox. If one man's ox hurt another that he dies, then they will sell the live ox and divide the money. Listen, this is not a God rule. Not a God rule. Or if it be known that the ox has been used to push in the time past, and his owner did not keep him in, he will surely pay ox for ox, and the dead one is his own. So one uh one dude in the patriarch hurt another one, hurt somebody else's ox, and he's like, I don't want to pay. So he made this a rule. And then the guy that ox has died, he's like, or if you know that the exact person, because I know it was you, this is a rule. This is not a God rule. Listen, it's not a God rule. All right. Oh my God. I went way too far. One chapter again. One. So tell me what you think. Do you think these are God rules or a bunch of dudes like arguing about things they did? Do you think this was like a what do they call those meetings of government? The Well, Jesus calls it a patriarch. So Senate and House, do you think they had something like that? So now they're arguing about the rules, which is all shit they probably did. And another guy's like, this guy did this, and it was gross. So we make new rule. You think it's something like that? Let me know what you think, because to me, these do not seem like God rules at all. And how would these fit on 2 stone tablets with them big ass letters? So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. People let me know about stupid shit. You know, they tell me about stupid shit. Tell me about what the fuck I'm reading. Doesn't matter what my comments are. Fuck that. Tell me what I'm reading. Tell me, do you think these are God rules, or do you think the shit was made by a committee? Jesus calls him the patriarch. So, what do you think? Because listen, Jesus also said the patriarch gave you, the patriarch gave you circumcision. So they are sitting around thinking about stuff, and they are sitting around making things. Not making things, making rules and stuff, making it harder for the people. So, do you think this is something like that? Because a lot of these don't seem like God rules. It doesn't seem like God would even care about any of this shit, because he's like, follow my commandments and my statutes. And what are statutes? Statutes are rules for sacrifice. So, pretty much, right now, he gave the 10 Commandments, And now these other rules come out of nowhere. So, in my opinion, a lot of these rules seem made up. So, tell me what you think. Thank you for watching. Keep your head down, your nose clean, your shoes tied. Learn word magic. And don't get ready. Stay ready. Love you.